Amongst all of the trade rumors and drama surrounding the Calgary Flames right now, we finally have an article that has revealed some information that is perfect for the Calgary Flames. Within that article, we now know that Noah Hanifin's value has increased. Welcome to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe for all of the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors on the Calgary Flames. But after that big 6-3 win against the Winnipeg Jets yesterday, it has Flames fans feeling a bit like this. So this is the classic cycle of this Flames' season, pretty much the entire franchise history if you ask me. But look at that. I'd argue that we're on the right now. We're kind of in that, oh yeah, we're back. Big win against Winnipeg. No one has to hear that Hellebuck stat about how few goals he gives up per game because he sure gave up some yesterday. But with this new information revealed, we could be going to that bottom Pepe frog there at the we're so back. So why don't we just get right into it? Hanifin value increased. Yes, we already know Noah Hanifin is arguably the number one trade chip on the trade board going into the trade deadline, which is very, very soon, March 8th. And Hanifin, he's been playing very, very good. We saw it on the road trip, how amazing he was. The Flames faltered a bit at home here, but Hanifin has been very, very strong. But according to the Hockey News, media speculation suggests Calgary Flames defenseman Noah Hanifin will likely test free agency, making him an enticing trade target for teams like the Bruins, Devils, and others. So how has his value increased here? Well, it means he's more than just a rental. If he's going to be going to free agency, as a lot of us obviously knew he was not going to sign in Calgary. Friedman kind of said that over the weekend as well. But it means he won't be just a rental. Teams will really, really want him. Maybe they'll create a bit of a bidding war so that he can be a defenseman of their future, not just for one cup run this season, which is great news for the Flames. I mean, we want the most value for him back. The Flames, of course, do. Conroy's going to make sure that's the case. And now knowing that, he will go to free agency and he is more than potentially just a rental, that is fantastic news. Now, that tweet there that I showed actually had an article linked to it, so let's get into it. So Noah Hanifin frequently surfaced in this season's rumor mill due to his on-again, off-again contract extension talks with the Calgary Flames. However, the 27-year-old could be on his way out of the Stampede City by March 8th, NHL trade deadline. The Hockey News' Calgary's Randy Sportak cited Sportnet's Elliot Friedman, get the F-bomb going, speculating that Hanifin will head to the free agent market on July 1st. Friedman said neither the Flames nor the Hanifin camp have commented regarding his status. So, will he actually be testing free agency July 1st, or will the Flames get more of a sign and trade out of him? Now, we've seen many times in the past a rental goes to a team and then he does end up signing there once the season is over. You want to stay with a contender, and obviously the big names are going to go to a contender at the deadline. We've seen it many times. We've also seen sign and trades. Now, those are a lot more rare, but it's not out of the question. So I think this does boost Hanifin's value quite a bit. Let's continue in that article. So the Hockey News Boston's Sam Belton recently noted the Flames were scouting the Bruins game last Tuesday against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Bruins GM Don Sweeney has long been a fan of Hanifin's, prompting Belton to wonder if Sweeney might pursue the Flames' blue liner. Speaking of the Lightning, contributor Michael DeRosa cited the fourth period, linking them to Hanifin. The Hockey News' New Jersey's Christy Flannery also suggested Hanifin could be a good fit on the Devils' blue line. Now, we all kind of knew some of these suitors, but I like what it said there about how, hey, the Flames were kind of scouting the Bruins when they were in Boston. Well, let's look ahead at the schedule. Who's the Flames' next opponent here? Oh, they welcome the Bruins to the Dome on Thursday. So maybe a little more scouting action can be happening on that day as well. And maybe the Flames will get that much closer to a deal. We know the Bruins are a very, very good suitor. Hanifin wants to be closer to home. Well, guess where home is? It's right there in Boston. Boston is coming out as maybe a front runner to land Hanifin. Now, I know there's tons of teams in the mix for him. That article cited the Bruins, the Lightning, the Devils. We know the Stars are out there, the Maple Leafs, of course, Avalanche, some other contenders. You know what? You can almost throw in any of the team names that are in about the top 20 of the NHL for both Hanifin and Tanev at this point. But Hanifin could be going to Boston. It's looking more and more likely as the media speculates, as talks are done, and as scouting happens between the Flames and Bruins. That could definitely be a trade. Conroy will likely seek at least a first-round pick, plus either a good young NHL player or a top prospect as part of the return. The Bruins and Lightning are cap-strapped clubs that would need the Flames to retain part of Hanifin's salary, which could drive up Conroy's asking price, aka Hanifin's value is higher. As for the Devils, their focus is more on a starting goaltender, such as Hanifin's teammate Jacob Markstrom. We've made a million videos on Markstrom. We've talked about Markstrom too much. Definitely need to focus more on the Flames themselves and the defensemen at this point. But it is true. The Bruins are cap-strapped. They seem to always make a move, though, around the deadline. I wouldn't be surprised if they do make a strong push for Hanifin. Boston, they kind of... I don't know if they need a defenseman necessarily, but it is good to know that the media has speculated that they could be a front runner to land Hanifin, and Hanifin would more than likely sign to be a defenseman of the future for the Bruins. I mean, I think it's well known that's where he wants to be. So this is great news for the Flames. It means his value has pretty much skyrocketed. It is as high as it could possibly be. As long as he doesn't get injured, and as long as, Conroy keeps his sane mind and sticks to his master plan, things are looking very, very good for the Flames here. We already know Hanifin is on the way out. That's been reported, so why not get the most possible back? I think this really, really does help the Flames. His value is so high right now. It's very good to know that he is being seen as more than just a rental. He wants to be, or the team that gets him will want him to be part of the future. And I'm sure Hanifin will as well. I know all of these trade talks, all of the speculation can be a bit of a virus within the dressing room. I'm sure it's hurting the players, and I'm totally on their side. I completely agree. They're saying, they're not listening to it. Let's just play hockey kind of thing. But of course it's getting to them. I mean, you look, it's the same guys always talking to the media before and after games. It's always Huberdeau and Coleman and Weegar. It's rare that you see someone else, especially after those losses that the Flames endured at home. But the game against Winnipeg has once again sparked hope within the organization. You can tell how enthusiastic I am. But this report too, showing that his value has increased. I mean, I don't know if it'll get to the players, them seeing that report necessarily, but I mean, it's gotta feel good for Hanifin knowing that his value is very, very high. He knows what he's worth. He's playing like he knows what he's worth, and I'm sure it will just be amazing for both parties, the Flames, Hanifin, and actually whoever they trade him to as well. So I think no matter what, everyone will be satisfied at the end of the day. Now, before we finish this video, let's just look at a quick little prospect watch here. And I'm not talking about junior hockey. I'm more talking about the AHL, because a recent little statistic has been floating around the forums and, just hockey social media in general, and involves the AHL. And as we know, the Wranglers, very, very good team. Dustin Wolf has done everything he can with the Wranglers. The Wranglers have been super fun to watch over the past few years now. And they have some good players that obviously have a lot of potential to make it into the Flames lineup at some point in this season. So here's the statistic I'm talking about. This is about AHL forwards, and it has to do with their scoring. So as you can see, in the top 12, there are 3 Wranglers there. Of course, Matt Coronado is going to be right up there. It's nice to see Adam Klapka there too. It's very, very exciting knowing that the Flames, no matter who they trade away, there are players that can come up. Now, I know for the Flames, the biggest trade blocks are D-men and, of course, the goalies. But knowing that we have these forwards that could come up and do some scoring, because I've seen so many Flames fans asking for, let's trade away and get a scoring forward back. Makes sense. I mean, we did that with Kuzmenko. I know he had a bit of a rough game against the Jets and ended up on the 4th line. But he still obviously has all the potential in the world, and he's shown how good he is. But it's good to know that we have so many players that can come up and could play at the NHL level. They're NHL caliber players. I know Conroy has said about Coronado that he wants to make sure the team is super competitive before he comes up. Well, that's true. I'd just like to have Coronado no matter what. But Peltier will be healthy soon and all that. Now, the other thing I want to point out from this is number 1 there, Logan Stankoven. He is actually playing for the Stars tonight. And I know a lot of that will excite a lot of Flames fans, because he's been rumored to maybe come to Calgary in a trade that would involve Chris Tanev or Noah Hanifin. Now, I think that's very wishful thinking from Flames fans, thinking they can get arguably one of the best prospects in the entire world right now. But it is still exciting to know that, hey, maybe he's coming up to show what he can do, and teams will be scouting that, and that will mean that the teams giving away Hanifin, Tanev, and whoever else is on the trade block, obviously we're sticking to the Flames here, but maybe they will want to trade for him, and that will mean that whatever team is getting Stankoven will receive less as well. Like, not just... I'm explaining this so bad, but you know what I'm trying to say. Maybe it'll be just a 1-for-1 instead of him with a pick or him with a prospect kind of thing. But, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all pure speculation. Who knows what'll be happening. I don't know what just happened in my brain there, but hopefully you guys as hockey fans know that it ain't always as easy as can be. That about does it for this video here today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you're new around here, and make sure you have a wonderful rest of your day.